All right, so today is area of a trapezoid, and this is 11.3. And trapezoid, of course, the base of trapezoid, the base word is what?
It's a trap!
That's right, Admiral Akbar. Thank you for sharing. It's a trap. All right, so the objectives, you have two. One is to find the areas of trapezoids, well, of course. And two is to use the measure of a trapezoid's median to find its area. All right, so you'll be learning about medians too, of a trapezoid. So let's start with the area of a trapezoid. Theorem 102 states that the area of a trapezoid equals 1/2 the product of the height and the sum of the bases. Or the area of what?
It's a trap!
Thank you again. Area of a trap equals half the height times base 1 and base 2, where B1 is the length of one base and B2 is the length of the other base. H is the height. Pretty self-explanatory. So here we have yet another formula for trapezoid, and this is the median of a trapezoid. Now let's start with a definition. The line segment joining the midpoints of the non-parallel sides of a trapezoid is called the median of the trapezoid. So here's your trapezoid. There's your two bases. The median is right there, all right? And what that does, in addition to being the average of these two, divides it into that segment into two congruent parts. Now that's not to say that this right here is congruent to this right here. This is congruent to this, and this is congruent to this, but not necessarily across. Only in an isosceles trapezoid. Okay, so Theorem 103 states that the measure of the median of a trapezoid equals the average of the measures of their bases. In other words, the median is 1/2 the sum of base 1 plus base 2, where B1 is the length of one base and B2 is the length of the other base. Simple enough. So that's how you find the median if you're asked to find it. Okay, so here's your trapezoid. There's your two bases. There's your median, which is found by taking this base here and this base here, adding them together, dividing by 2. Okay? Next, Theorem 104 says that the area of a trapezoid is the product of the median and the height. So in other words, we take the area of what?
It's a trap!
And that is equal to m times h, where m is the length of the median and h is the height. So here we have our trapezoid again. There's our height. There's our median. So to find the area, if we were given those two things, just multiply them together. No cutting anything in half, no multiplying by 1/2, no dividing by 2, nothing like that. Just multiply the median times the height, and that'll give you the area of the trapezoid. All right, so let's take a look at an example. Find the area of the trapezoid given the information below. So we have one base is 12, the other one's 18, and the height is 8. So we take our formula, the area of a trapezoid equals 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. So the area of a trapezoid equals 1/2 8, which is the height, times 12 plus 18, which are the two bases. So the area of what?
It's a trap!
The area of the trap equals 120. Hopefully you can follow along with that. Next problem. Here we have an area, we need to find the area of an isosceles trapezoid. That's important here. ABCD, if the measure of angle A equals 45, AB equals 10, and BC equals 15. Well, why is that important? Because we don't know the height, and we don't know the other base. So what we do is we draw in a line from the vertex down, so basically an altitude, to create a 90-degree triangle, which makes this a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So since we have that, and we know the ratios of 45, 45, 90, right? So here you have 45, 45, 90. That's x. That's also x because those two sides are equal. And this is x root 2. But if you look, there is no root 2 after this. So if that's the case, what do? Well, here's what you do. If there's supposed to be a radical after it, like in this case, if you're looking at the ratios, you would think that there should be a root 2 after it. If there's not, take whatever number's under the radical, in this case 2, divide that number by this number, okay? That'll give you 5, and then tack that on the end. So if AB is 10, then each of these legs are 5 root 2. Okay? And since this is an isosceles trapezoid, that means that this side is also 10. This angle is also 45, which means that these are also 5 root 2. Now you already know the height, so actually this one's not important. But this is important because we've basically made a rectangle here, so this is 15 down here. So the bases are 15, so this is base 1. And this whole thing is base 2. Now where did I get that? The 15 I got from right here. The 10 root 2 I got from 5 root 2 plus 5 root 2. So these two added together gives me 10 root 2. So then I take the area of the trapezoid.
It's a trap!
That's right. So it's 1/2 times the height, which is 5 root 2, times the sum of the bases, which is 15 plus 15 plus 10 root 2. So I combined the 15 and 15 to get 30, and then kept the 10 root 2 separate. So now I'm going to multiply the 5 root 2 times both of those. I'm going to distribute it across, which is going to give me 150 root 2. And then 5 root 2 times 10 root 2, little mistake, times 10 root 2. So I multiply 5 times 10, which equals 50. And root 2 times root 2, which just equals 2. So 50 times 2 is 100. So that's how I got this. And then I take half of both of those. So half of 150 root 2 is 75 root 2. Half of 100 is 50. All right, so you get the idea. Stay tuned for more videos. And one final time, please.
It's a trap!
All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you.